audio now. Is it better now? Still there. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a throughput issue then. Sorry guys, don't really know what I can do about it. There's probably something wrong with my drivers or something. Fix it later. Regardless, show must go on, so yeah. Welcome to the first official C499's Defense in Floria tournament. Hosted by yours truly, C499. Yeah, I have 10 fleets from, like, 4 different people. Yeah, this is the reason I enabled people to send 4 fleets at a time. Because I didn't think there'd be a lot of people into this tournament. Especially since we've had, what, like, 3 different tournaments this month. So, yeah. We have Marg is in this tournament for if I can recall, this is the first time ever in any sort of competitive tournament. So hey, he's here. Yen Yu, we know him very well. He makes pretty ships. Exterp, pretty reliable, I guess, contestant. That's the word. And Imperiex, which tends to make evil designs that tend to dominate whatever tournaments they're in. Whether that'll be true or not this tournament, I'm not entirely certain, but yeah. Oh, and last but not least, we have Owl, which this design in particular has made me reconsider some rules in the event that I have next tournament, which might not be for a few months, at the very least, because holy crap, the amount of tournaments this month has been unreal. So I'm going to introduce these fleets in more detail when they first appear in the brackets. And here are the options. Do you read order? Well, obviously on. Arena size 50,000, no asteroids, resources off, time limit for rounds is 2 minutes. It's going to be best out of 3, and this is something I changed from the original rule, so it's going to be double elimination. Mainly because single elimination, in my experience with this few amount of fleets, is over a little too quickly. So yeah, double elimination, and countdown's 5 seconds because of reasons. Just enough time for me to actually look at where people are on the chart. So, hold on, let me pull up Twitch chat on my phone here. Wow. Okay. Mug submits to NMSS stuff as well. Huh. Didn't know that. Oh well. I'm just making sure this chat is working on my phone here. Sorry for the consecutive alt tabs. I'm just making sure. In fact, hold on. Okay, that's weird. It's not updating. Well, oh well, whatever. I guess, it sucks, because I won't be able to look at chat. Sorry guys, I did not expect to have this many issues with streaming. Just bear with it, please. Ah, yes, okay, now it's working. For some reason, it just decided not to work for a few minutes. Okay. Yeah, alright, let's, I think we've been waiting long enough, so let's begin. Alright, first we have Missile Party by Extra 7 versus Poetry with Lemons. Oh yes, these are two fleets I really wanted to see go up against each other, and yet we have them going up against each other in the very first round. Yes, we have 692 ships on screen at the same time, so this will be fun. First of all, we have Exterp's Missile Party. The worst thing is these ships are completely legal because that small shield is a ZDE block, so I can't DQ these. Yeah. Standard Terran missiles. These look like they're basically just the campaign probes, just modified for a tournament. Have some missiles stuck on them, a shield. And there's 384 of them, so yeah, your work is cut out. The shields make these really annoying in particular because it prevents them from being multi-killed by explosives. And next we have Poetry with Lemons by Infamous Yu. Ah, yes, Yu. This is crazy torpedo spam fleet. We have both the vanilla torpedoes here and the ZDE torpedoes. Now these ships, okay, well actually here's all three different kinds of ships in a single frame here, but we have, as you can see, vanilla torpedoes here. Now these, I didn't disqualify this fleet because it has enough ZDE blocks in it to be, you know, within the rules. Not that there's a particular amount or anything, but, you know, he uses homing torpedoes, so it's okay. It's, other than that, it's just standard Terran missiles and torpedo launchers, and some really small drones. And there's 308 total ships in this fleet. So, yeah, let's get on. Fight. I'm just gonna enable the auto camera here. Running in full screen window might be what's causing it dark box not to show text. I'm running in full screen, Bongs. Yeah, the thing is I can't check my options, but last time I checked it was full screen. Unless you want to restart the tournament. Because I know pressing escape restarts the tournament, so yeah. Strap yourselves in. We're going to be here for quite a while. Infamous Yu's ships are taking a questionable formation. Not gonna lie. And Extra ships are all focused on that one tiny ship that's somehow gotten behind their entire fleet. Fireworks from the homing torpedo explosions are so pretty. Actually, fun. Press F to pay respects. You were a good distraction. I think this is out of like the matchups, the possible matchups, I think this is the worst one in terms of time dilation. So I wouldn't worry about. I tested all the other ones off camera. Shh, don't tell anyone that, but yeah, this is probably the worst one in terms of worst as it gets in terms of the time dilation we're going to experience in this tournament. Simply because holy shit missiles, holy shit missiles. Yeah, it's real sad Mark can't make it. I promised him that if he won this tournament, I would turn ZDE's preview image into God Mug. hope that whine isn't becoming too annoying for you guys. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. I can't really focus on any individual ship here because, well, it's more of an army versus army battle rather than ships dueling each other. We're just gonna have to sit back, take your feet up, and watch the pretty fireworks of all the big fireballs are from multiple torpedo explosions. For some reason, they really like the big flash whenever they detonate. Or, you know, at least SGO makes it that way. We have a few of Yenyu's ships who have somehow made it behind Exterp's entire formation here. Gotta keep on my feet up. Oh, could the whine be my PC fan? It's probably my fan, actually. Does it sound like a fan to you guys? Doesn't sound like a fan, okay, yeah. It's probably a throughput issue then. Well, it's going on YouTube, so I'll take a listen then, toss it onto YouTube. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out what exactly it is. Exterp's leading in points so far, and ships, but Exterp started with more ships, so that's kind of natural. However, I think, looking at it so far, I think Yenyu's gonna struggle here because two of his weapons that he's chosen are not really able to keep up with Exterp's ships. They're just too fast and too small and maneuverable. And the shields on Exterp's ships also really help with with any sort of stray missile impacts. Although I think homing torpedoes do enough damage to negate that. Yeah, Exterp, you might as well try anyway. I mean, it's double elimination, so hopefully it's going to get another chance even if you get knocked out regardless. Wow, this time dilation. You know what? No frame rate drops, so we're good. By the way, technically, two of Mug's fleets and one of Exterp's fleets is technically illegal because it breaks the greater than scale 5 blocks rule. However, I have made an exception because oh god, sorry. Two reasons really. One, we just have two little fleets, and two, they don't really, they're not really troll ships in a sense. They use more the big blocks for structural reasons rather than troll ship reasons. Like, I tested, and both the ships are completely killable. Trust me. Have you ever tried putting your mic into a different USB port? Well, I tried that before. Yeah, well, it wouldn't work in that case, I don't think. Oh wait, are you asking to, use different... I think you know what you're asking. You're asking to use different audio ports, right? Because my mic isn't USB. Yeah, it has two 2 ports for 2 audio jacks. One for the actual mic and one for the audio. That gets it through headphones. Of which I've also routed it through a Razer keyboard. So I could try connecting the headphones directly, but that would require a bit of a slightly longer cable. Yeah, Razer keyboards have this thing that's... Yeah, routed it through Razer keyboard is probably the main issue. If you guys are okay without my commentary for a minute, I'll probably do that during the second round, once this is over, because I think the second round's going to go much the same way. Or maybe not. Actually, this round is really close, so who knows. Yenyu has won the first round. Alright, so I'm going to do the thing where I hopefully fix the audio now. So just enjoy the auto camera on silence for a minute. Alright, be right back. Christ. Sorry guys, this is a hot mess of a stream. Oh god. I'm sorry. Wow. This could have gone a whole lot better. Let me just tell you. Alright. Do you guys still hear the, Alright, so I now have it directly connected to the PC now. So do you guys... Did the ringing stop now? Can you even hear me? Fixed or I... Okay, good. Oh, wow, okay. Finally, we're making progress. Yep. Now the only question is... Actually, there's no question. Sorry. Really late at night for me. Still there though, but much better. Okay, well, progress is progress. Just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, I have no idea what's causing that noise. Probably just the distance it has to travel. Okay, well, let's get some up-close shots. Yeah, the thing about these homing torpedoes is that they're very slow to accelerate. They also don't have the best maneuverability. They do hit hard when they do hit, though. It's just missiles everywhere. Ah, man. Missile party indeed. Extra shields are really helping in preventing his ships from being one-shot. Unfortunately, they can't really take a direct torpedo / homing torpedo hit. They only really work for the small missiles. Yes, just two clouds of ships shooting at each other. Extra managed to isolate one of Yinyu's torpedo ships. Just look at him dodge all this shit by hair. What the fuck was that? Huh, okay, that was weird. Sorry. Background noises. Things that go bump in the night. Thing is, as more and more ships die, the time dilation gradually starts getting better, because less stuff flying around the screen. Yeah, I have trouble using the camera in swarm engagements because I don't really know what to focus on. There's some homing torpedoes chasing down one of Extrap's ships. Yeah, okay, homing torpedoes are still more incapable of penetrating through the shields and one-shotting Extrap's ships. As they should be. Should probably use game capture for this next time, so I can alt-tab freely. Yeah, they usually work better when... yeah. Looking at Twitch chat right now, put back on auto camera. Yeah, bigger target. Yeah, I think extra shields when it comes to versus the standard Terran missiles. I know those shields can take a few of those, but against the homing torpedoes, they're probably hurting Extra more than you're helping him, because all it does is just trigger to provide a bigger target for the torpedo to hit by accident. Yeah, Extra is actually ahead on points this time, so he might actually win this one. This is probably going to be the fairest fight throughout this entire tournament, because, well, swarm on swarm tends to be... well, you know, there are two swarms with pretty much almost the same amount of ships. Yeah, I think Extrap's gonna win this one. And we'll go to round 3. Yes, water. First time ever commentating, by the way. I hope I don't suck too much. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whack. Extra 7 wins. And now for the tiebreaker. Just watch as the initial volley, the giant clouds of deaths clash with each other. Yes. These two fleets probably have the least ZDE weapons in them of all the fleets, by the way. You're gonna see some more interesting stuff later on. Well, if you call, you know, Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon spam interesting, but hey, it's up to you. Oh my god. What the hell is going on down here? Dodging even more shit than the previous one. Has the attention of an Extrap's entire swarm, pretty much. Does Extrap have some of his missiles set to point defense? Because I noticed that some of Extrap's missiles are going after some of Yenyu's missiles. Wow, your Yenyu's ship actually survived that somehow. Probably because there's new meat being thrown into the grinder. There's a bunch of homing torpedoes just sitting up here for no reason. We have another homing torpedo spam fleet in the tournament, by the way, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Yep. Yeah, I don't think these ships in the back here are really being useful because they don't. Their homing torpedoes don't have the range to reach over and hit these Extrap ships over here. But neither can Extrap ships hit him from there. It's mainly just going to be who has more forces at the front at this time. Dear God, this ship has some serious balls. Flying right through the middle of Extrap's swarm. And got what he had coming to him, unfortunately. Press F to pay respects. What are these ships doing up here? None of Extrap's ships are up there. The northernmost one is this one. Okay, time to go get chat again. Yeah, Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon is getting nerfed next ZDE patch. And by nerfed, I mean points value is increased and energy cost is being doubled. Range and damage is still going to be the same because that's kind of what I intended Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon to be, was this sort of good all-around mid-range burst cannon for bigger ships, but the energy cost is getting doubled in the next patch, and I made the points a bit too low as I realized here, so points value is also getting increased. The intent was to provide a thick wall for capitals to drown on. Yeah, Extrap's fleet, News fleet actually seems to work pretty decently against mid-sized ships. That is, unless mid-sized ships have distractor ships in them. Which, Owlfeathers, I don't really want to spoil this, but Owlfeathers, your fleet is evil. Your fleet is just evil. The bad thing about Owl's fleet is it's perfectly legal. it's perfectly legal. I can't do anything about it. But we'll get to Owl's fleet when it appears, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh wow. You know, I'm really tempted to press enter here, but it's too close to call right now, so yeah. Just way too close for me to just skip this. So it would have been hilarious if you basically just stuck some engines on a wave motion gun. You know, stick crap tons of engines, have a wave motion gun sticking out in the front. That way, hopefully, because it's more maneuverable, the AI would be a little more accurate with the aim. Yeah. I just wish there was like somewhere in between a turret where I mean the reason why I banned the wave motion gun turrets but allowed the spinals was purely because the spinals would not instantly kill enemy ships. The thing is with laser turrets is that they're pretty much 100% accurate towards the core, and I banned them because in testing they would instantly kill an enemy ship 99% of the time. It was too you actually tried to do that once, but it ended up being too cost inefficient. Yeah, wave motion gun is 15,000 points, if I recall correctly, so not exactly cheap. Entire segment of Excerpt Swarm over here is busy chasing down this crippled lemon, or whatever you called this ship. For some reason, Yenyu's fleet is a lot more organized than Excerpt's fleet is at the moment, because most of his ships tend to just stick around the middle, while Excerpt's basically just go all over the place and go crazy hunting down individual ships that stray too far from the pack. It's probably due to the mobility difference between Excerpt and Yenyu. Maybe because Excerpt's ships are slightly more maneuverable than Yenyu's are. What in the... Is Yenyu seriously trying to tractor something all the way across your arena? Are you... what? Okay. Oh, yeah, less thrust equals more tightly bound swarm. And oh yeah, looks like Excerpt 7 wins. Just barely though. If I took a look at it right before it ended. Alright, next up we have Marg versus Yen Yu again. Yeah, this is Yen Yu's second fleet. Believe it or not, it's a Reds fleet, and it's the only Reds fleet in the tournament, and I don't think he was entirely serious, being as he just wanted the ships to look cool, because these ships tend to melt pretty quickly in testing. But this fleet is comprised of two classes of ships, one of which is this, with a medium-sized high-velocity rocket battery, and a large generator, and some thrusters. It looks really cool, by the way. I have to give it to Yen Yu. He makes really awesome looking ships. And his second ship, which is a bigger ship, has two medium-sized high-velocity rocket launchers, 4 heavy high-velocity rocket launchers, and some point defense Vulcans. So overall, it's a little weak in terms of point defense for a red ship. It's just kind of fortunate that the fleet he's going up against doesn't spam missiles, otherwise this fleet would be disintegrated in seconds. Yeah, that's pretty much it for... It's a pretty simple fleet, only 2 types of ships, but looks pretty damn awesome regardless. And then we have Marg's Penultimate Envoy by Margakis. This is Marg's first fleet. 5 super stacked kiters, 5 light assault, what am I saying? These are the light beam cannons, the 2x2 version of the 3x3B cannons. Charging lasers with 3000 range. Unfortunately, the light version is obviously less damage than the heavy version, so yeah. And he also has a couple of what appear to be scythes. Let me just take. What in the hell? Okay. What in deuce? Okay, just technical difficulties. I have no idea what just happened, but apparently something happened. Oh god. I'm sorry, guys. Oh no, I exited Reassembly. Yeah. Close the game. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This one just disaster of a stream. I'm sorry. Oh no. On the bright side, all you have to do is just start up the tournament again. But before I do that, Mons, you said run full screen window, so I'm just gonna change that to full screen window. And yes, the physics per second updates is on 120. I'm sorry, guys. No, this is just a train wreck at this point. Oh god. Well, at least we get to see some new fleets earlier. Alright, so looks like since we're gonna have to start this all over again, here is Yen Yu's torpedo spam fleet again. We've already went over his ships, but this is a new fleet we haven't seen before. This is Extrip 7. This is his second fleet. This is 1 Dread and some ships. Now these blocks are bigger than Scale 5, but I've made an exception because this ship is actually really easy to kill. It has an enormous rear weak point that can be easily exploited by pretty much anything, especially swarms. So yeah, this Dreadnought is 6 Heavy Assault Gauss Cannons, some heavy phalanxes, which I'm glad I'm seeing some use because these guns are actually pretty nice in terms of just basic cannon point defenses. And he has mortar drones and beam drones. Now, in my opinion, the beam drones are a little underpowered because just simply don't hit hard enough for their points cost. But hey, Extrip uses what Extrip uses. He also has some mortar drones, which are far better, in my opinion. And we've already seen these missile ships. These are the same thing that made up his missile party. And he's done a really neat thing, and he's spread out all of his generators, so if one of them gets taken out, it's not the end of the world. And, well, that's pretty much it. Just like the fleet says, it's 1 Dreadnought and some ships. And we've already seen we've already been over Yinyu's fleet. So, begin. Good chat. 404 hours played. Oh no. Oh wait, Husk is here. Oh, hi Husk. 404 hours played. Oh god, that's perfect timing. Oh wow. Yeah, nice ship Extrp. Yeah, this is the same design that Extrp has been using for basically forever. So he's basically just refitted it with some ZDE blocks, stuck it in his fleet. Now, his Dreadnought is slow, unfortunately. He didn't bother to stack super capital thrusters, unlike most of their submissions here. He just has some just standard lines of asteroid thrusters. Now, every time these Gauss cannons go off, they're taking out 1 or 2 drones. But the thing is, that's 1 or 2 drones out of 308, so Extrp has work come out for him. Say at least. His point defense is also doing some work and taking him out. I mean, these point defenses hit surprisingly hard for their size. Don't get me wrong, they're like, what, 30 damage a shot, I think? Basically the same as plasma cannons. Yeah, but now that Extrp's shields are down, it's only going to take like 4 or 5 homing torpedo hits to his rear to take him out. And that's kind of the big weakness of his ship, is that while it is heavily armored, it's only heavily armored from the front and the sides. Its rear is incredibly vulnerable. And yeah, I think at this point, yeah, Extrp only has 2 ships left at this point, so it's pretty much just, yeah, in Yenyu doesn't even have a whole fleet over here. The rest of his fleet was hunting down Extrp's smaller missile ships, which is fleeing back to the mothership here. So naturally, all of Yenyu's other ships are, yeah, Extrp's probably gonna get stomped in this matchup simply because the numbers are too overwhelming. Is that a fortress shield or a tower shield? I think it's a tower shield. I'm not 100% certain. Actually, it could be a fortress shield. Let me check here. Yeah, that's a fortress shield. Yeah. 150,000 hit points. That's a fortress shield. Didn't know how I didn't notice that earlier. Yeah. Oop, I hit my mic. Yeah, I have a feeling that this will be over relatively quickly. The only matchup that would take forever is if Extrp's missile party and Poetry with Lemons were to meet. Yeah, don't underestimate fortress shields. They're pretty strong. And they're probably the reason why Extrp has so many large generators on there, because the fortress shields are incredibly energy hungry. Yeah, his Dread could use some bigger escorts, definitely. It's just way too vulnerable out on its own like that, in the middle of a missile swarm like that. The fortress shield does hold for quite some time, however, so his Dread is doing some damage, but unfortunately it's nowhere near enough. And his drones are, kind of just too slow to keep up with the Yenyu's ships, unfortunately. Yeah, Extrp does have some drones out, but are not really... The mortar drone's velocity on their cannons is too slow to hit Yenyu's ships. And the beam drones, they don't. The AI is they're spinal, so they don't spend a lot of time on target. Nowhere near enough to do damage. Oh god, yep. X-Strips Dreadnought is going to be dead in a matter of seconds here. Or maybe not. Who knows? Then, whatever. Yeah, you see X-Strips weapons are firing slightly slower now, I think. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But they should be firing slightly slower now because the Force Shield is incredibly energy hungry when it's recharging. Unfortunately, the shield is being brought down so continuously that it doesn't really have enough time to drain power from X-Strips guns, so... And unlike last time, Yenyu's fleet does not seem to be exploiting this rear weak point here, unlike last time. It's quite odd. Because this is a huge weak point in the ship's design. And for some reason, X-Strip wins. Probably because points. I did not expect X-Strip to win that one, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, the laser drones aren't turreted. They're pretty terrible, in my opinion. Should probably knock down their P-value a bit, or give them a turret. Either one. They were just me experimenting with stuff and drones at that point. What kind of weapons they could mount. Looking at chat. Yeah, my phone just closes down chat every like 5 seconds. Yep, X-Strips Dreadnought looks like it is going to go down this time. He only has to shield block between him and the core now. And you just need to get enough missiles down that throat. Problem is, X-Strips ships, or Yenyu's ships, do not seem to be exploiting that weakness again. So it is possible that X-Strip might win on points here again. His guns, X-Strips Dreadnought's guns, are doing a good job of keeping Yenyu's ships away from that weak point. And Yenyu, the bulk of Yenyu's fleet, well, they were targeting some of X-Strip's drone, but X-Strip only has 2 ships left at this point, so now it's just down to Yenyu's fleets to finish off this Dreadnought before the timer ends. Yeah, now the Dreadnought is the only ship left in the fleet, so... But then again, Yenyu only has 17 seconds to finish off this Dreadnought, otherwise they're just going to lose. Or not, actually. He's pretty much tied on points now, he just needs to score enough points. Oh god, this is actually really close. Not enough of X-Strips, or, Yenyu's ships could engage in time. Shame. Alright. Ooh, this fleet. Okay, now things are gonna get interesting. So, this is one of Mug's fleets. Mug submitted two pretty similar fleets, but this is the one I included by exception to the no similar fleets rule, because he used this thing as his main weapon. This thing is a Titan-sized point defense cannon. Yes, really, it's a point defense cannon, and Marg had somehow enough balls to use it as his main weapon. So, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. And these are just some filler drones with some missiles made to fill up the rest of the points to 50,000. Very similar to X-Strip's missile drones here. This missile party, we've been over it before. But yeah, I actually expect X-Strip to get melted here, because these guns, they may not work very well against big ships, but they shred small ships to bits incredibly quickly. So, without further ado, fight! Yeah, you can see, yeah, this is, I think this is probably going to be a bit of a slaughter here. Mug's Imperial Star Destroyer replicas here, just going to town. This hull does get reused for one of Mug's fleets as well. I included it because, as stated before, exception, because otherwise we wouldn't really have enough fleets. Also, for having the balls to use this as his main weapon, I just went and included it anyway for the walls. Yeah, these guns, they shred drone swarms pretty quickly. Yeah. Unfortunately, X-Strip has made has met his maker here. So yeah. These guns make the coolest sound in firing, by the way. If I can zoom in enough to let you guys hear his sound. Can't really hear it over all the explosions. Rules are for boring. Well, rules are here so we don't get constant 4,000 radius death cubes being submitted. Still, that hasn't stopped a certain somebody from submitting a 4,000 radius death armor ship. We'll get to you later, Al. Your fleet is pretty special in particular. Yeah, I do like the way these guns look when they fire, though. Just walls of bullets. Yeah, all these shots are proximity explosive, so it's basically if you took about 100 flat cannons and stuck them together and increased their range and velocity by like 50 times. This was made primarily for Titan-sized ships, but for some grand leap in logic caused Marg to use this as his main weapon for his mid-sized ships. Yeah. Yeah, at least it's only one 4K radius ship instead of a swarm of them. Yeah. That's the reason I allowed your fleet in. If it was a swarm of 4K radius ship, I might have considered just disqualifying it for being complete and absolute cancer. Mug's shields aren't really, extra shields are helping his drones stay alive a bit longer in this case, but those guns aren't going to stop shooting anytime soon, so yeah. Actually, there's this really weird thing. Extra ships are small enough so they can get close enough to Marg's ships to actually get underneath the barrels of this gun. because the barrels are so long, and then the gun can't fire at these drones. But that's what I'm assuming he has these guns here for, was to shake off any sticky ships that stick to his hull. Of course, we have a ton of super stacked super capital thrusters here. I am probably going to ban these next time around because they are quite overpowered, to say the least. And they're probably the reason why we see so many heavily armored ships. Yeah, it always feels good to see point defense doing point defense things. Yeah, mega flak hyper flak Gatlings versus drones is pretty much a hard counter. The only reason extra ships are not being instantly destroyed is because they have shields. I'll probably do a fresh install of OBS later on, so you guys can get the Twitch chat here, because I have a pretty old version of OBS, and that's probably the reason why the Twitch chat isn't showing up on screen for you guys, but oh well. Yeah, I thought the window capture would work, but apparently not. Apparently not. Marg is just mopping up here. To save time, I'm just gonna enter anyway, because we all know how this is going to end. You can call it point... Well, it's a point defense, but it's meant for Titan-sized warships, like 3,000 radius plus. Oh dear, we have the time dilation battle again. Yep, I'm just really tempted to press enter for these battles, for this matchup in particular, because of the severe time dilation that occurs, but oh well. Yeah, we've seen this fight before. It's just a giant time dilation fest of missiles everywhere. By the way, are you guys okay with me just entering through this? Or do you want to see this fight again? Should I just enter once it hits a minute 30? Because that's basically 2 minutes. Blue versus yellow the game. Yes. Yeah, there's nothing really too interesting about this matchup, other than the fact that there's a lot of ships and missiles on the screen at once. And that could be cool, but it's only really cool for like the first 3 times or so you see it. And we've already seen it 3 times, so yeah. $146. Oh god. You know what? I'm just gonna enter when it hits a minute 40. For 3, 2, and enter. And I'm also going to enter once 20 seconds pass in time dilated time. Oh, wow. Longest 4 seconds of your life. Yeah. Thing is, time dilation is sort of hard to judge when you're building fleets, because it really depends on the power of your machine, plus however much. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't find the words. What's the words? Yes. However much time dilates for the enemy fleet as well. So, yeah, time dilation rules are pretty hard to enforce. And 9 seconds left, don't worry. Well, okay, 9 seconds of time dilated seconds, that's more like 30 seconds. In the meantime, let's watch one of the unused ships run away from the death cloud. Uh, 5 seconds. Oh god. Get right in the center of it. Oh, wait. 1 minute 40. Enter. Okay, Yenyu wins. And that is the end of that. Now, Mug's Hyperflat Gatling fleet is going to go up against Extrap's missile party, but this time it has a Dreadnought. These Hyperflats are going to struggle against this Dreadnought, I'm not going to lie. They can deal with the drones pretty damn easily, but they're gonna have a hard time taking down that fortress shield. Unless they focus fire. Yeah, Splash Reliant guns versus Massive Shields is never really a good matchup. They are taking out... Plus, these are point defense guns, so I don't know whether Mug left these on point defense or set them as their main weapon, but... yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, finally the tower shield goes down, and we can watch Extrap's Dread being eroded away very slowly, being tickled to death by Hyperflak. Did force one of Mug's ships to temporarily pull back there. Almost killed it. Sustained some ass damage. Yes. Extrap, don't struggle. It'll all be over soon. Wait, does this not have a... Oh, yeah, okay. Just nothing left. Yep, there we go. Obliterator magic when it's convenient. I have it at 120 physics updates per second, so as to avoid as much projectile clipping as possible, especially in the case of this fleet, because it has a lot of high velocity bullets. Yeah, if they focus fire, if Mug's ships focus fire, they definitely have enough DPS to take down the Dreadnought, but it's a big if. It kind of relies on the AI not being a derp. Unfortunately, when all of Extrap's distractor ships are melted, there isn't much left to make the AI derp. So, yeah. Extrap's probably gonna lose this one. The funny thing is, these point defense guns outrange the Heavy Assault Gauss Cannons by like a factor of 2. They have double the range, basically. Yeah. Alright, so now it's gonna be one ship plus dreads versus, or some Extrap's Dreadnought versus Poetry with Lemons. I should really work on my commentating skills. I'm sorry for being a trash commentator. It's my first time. Yeah, I think X-Strip's gonna get stopped on this one as well. Or maybe not. I think we've seen this fight before, yeah, have we seen this fight before? Yeah, I think it's the exact same fight we had as, like, the first round. For this one. So, do you guys just want me to, like, skip this fight? Or do you want to let him fight another 3 rounds? Or 2, depending on how it goes. Yes, but it was a best of 2. One complaint about a skip, though. Anyone else? Thoughts? They should skip this? As I looked in fights, it was pretty close last time. So hopefully they don't take too long. Hopefully I won't regret this. Okay, I'll let him fight. Yeah, unlike last time, NU's ships focused down the Dreadnought first, rather than going after all these stray missile ships. Yeah, luckily, X-Strip's Dreadnought means that there's a lot less lag this time. Well, not really lag. I'm not getting any sort of frame drops whatsoever. It's just that, time dilation. One of NU's ships apparently can't figure a way out of the inside of X-Strip's ship here. Wait. Almost. Jesus Christ, what the hell is with that ship's AI? But yeah, I think they're just mopping up at this point. Just entered, because there was only 7 ships left on X-Strip's fleet. Yeah, it all depends. It all depends on whether Yenyu decides to focus down the Dreadnoughts first, or go for these stray, these stray missile ships at the very edge here. If Yenyu focuses down the Dreadnought first, it's pretty much game over for X-Strip, because then it'd just be a missile party with a third of what missile party has. So yeah, quite cheeky of this one, actually, to actually be underneath the barrels so the cannons can't hit him. Unfortunately, the point defense finally woke up and drove him out. Fortress shield is down. Use homing torpedoes. They pack a punch. Even against these big blocks, it's enough to take out 1 or 2 of them at a time. They're basically farmer heavy missiles now that I think about it. Yeah, that's a lot of homing torpedoes. X-Strip's Dreadnoughts days are numbered. And that's it. Yeah, it's 22 ships versus 206 ships, so I'm just gonna enter it. Save some time. Any time saved is always good. Alright, so now, new fleets! We've already seen Yenyu's red ship fleet before. Is Vantablack. We've already been over it. However, this guy, Imperiex, this is your guy. This is your guys. Mailmen and the Longpoles. We have these really, really stacked, and I mean like really stacked, general purpose heavy assault Gauss. These are like the most meta ships of all the meta ships. Seriously. And he has like a missile launcher, and that looks like an LCIWS there. A laser close-in weapon system. Basically just an anti-missile laser. Yeah. Looks like he also has a few... I can't tell whether those are default Terran lasers or those are the sights. Yeah. Yenyu, I don't expect you to last very long in this fight because in testing, this fleet was pretty ferocious. Yeah. The worst thing is, you see these long sticks, they're perfectly legal because they have a gun. That's the worst part. I can't ban these sticks because they're perfectly legal. These are somehow 4,000 radius sticks, and I don't know what purpose they're supposed to serve. I guess they're just there for comedic effect? But they don't really have any dangerous weapons on them. They just have a few point defenses, and they're made of triangles stuck back to each other like this. Yeah, and I don't think they're long enough to cause any AI issues, so I have no idea what's going on with those sticks. But these ships on their own, they're just steadily. So, yeah. Sorry, Yenyu. You're probably gonna get executed here. These are like the most meta ships of meta. Oh, spacing out the other ships. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. That's actually pretty clever, because one of these ships, a certain one of these fleets would really like to take advantage of close together ships. I'm not gonna name who it is, but this fleet has a certain weapon that's very good at taking advantage of tightly packed enemies. Yeah, red durability. Classic red spontaneous explosions here. Their weapons are good, however. They are getting in some damage, but they're not doing enough before they die. That's the problem. Yeah, and these are really very, very stacked. So, his AoE is helping him against these tightly packed armor stacks, but they just died too quickly because reds. Alright, we finally get to see Owl's fleet. Ooh, okay. So, Mug. We've already seen Mug's fleet. This is Mug's laser kiter fleet. Pretty stacked. He has a couple shields, a couple sights, 5 light beam cannons, and this is Mug's fleet. Now he only has 6. He has 6 of these distraction ships here. They have 1 heavy assault Gauss and, well, 2-point defense lasers up front, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Now this may seem heavily armored, but it kind of pales in comparison to this thing. Yeah. These ships here, they're only like 860 something points. This ship is something like 40 something thousand points. So he clearly threw most of his... Yeah. He clearly threw most of his points into one ship for this strategy. And he... Credit to him, he didn't only use heavy assault gauzes. He went and used a heavy annihilator cannon here. Remember how I told you about like tightly spaced ships and how certain ships look like certain weapons take advantage of tightly spaced ships? Yeah. This thing does not stop at one ship destroyed in this case, especially in terms of like small ships like this. These ships are flimsy enough that this shot will just punch straight through and hit whatever's behind it as well. So hopefully Mug's ships can disperse by that time. But yeah, this cannon still hits incredibly hard. It's enough to one-shot kill pretty much all of Mug's ships in this fleet here. Meanwhile, Mug's ships are going to have a very difficult time even just getting down these distractor ships. And the worst part is, all these ships are completely legal. This ship is actually pretty, well, it's not the most maneuverable thing in the world, but yeah. I'm definitely banning these thrusters next time around. Because they allow for ridiculous stuff like this. But other than that, he did make very nice use of the colored hull here. This isn't negative space, this is colored hull. And he made very nice use of it to make very pretty ships, even though... yeah. Even though I personally wouldn't agree with having structural weak points here, but... still pretty, and equally as deadly. So, without further ado, let's witness Mug's unfortunate execution. Because this ship is... Mug is unfortunately just overwhelmed in terms of firepower. The firepower that Owl's Dreadnought brings to the table is nothing to sneeze at. And the thing is, let me show you how far these shots go in terms of range. Still going. Yep, that's basically across the entire arena in terms of range, so you can't run from this. And most of the times, his Dreadnought would just basically just sit back behind all of his distractor ships and take shots with its artillery cannon. So, yeah. Oh, just barely dodged that one. Artillery salvos can be avoided, however. Mainly just because of their less than light speed velocity, but yeah, I think Mug's dead. Mug is definitely dead here, unfortunately. Even if his ships all live, he's definitely going to lose on points, because the thing is, because these ships are so cheap in terms of point cost, they don't give Mug much points when he shoots at them. So, and meanwhile, his Owl's Dreadnought is just picking them off one by one with his artillery salvos. So, yeah, I hate to admit it, but Mug is pretty toast here. Just have to wait for Owl to get lucky with his artillery. Yeah, for this particular fight, he also has a bunch of really super stacked Heavy Assault Gauss Cannons at the front here, which is probably the bulk of this ship's firepower, actually, in terms of DPS, but this ship rarely gets close to bother using them. Of course, right as I say that, Mug's ships try to close the distance, which is not as good as idea as Mug would think it would be, because this close-range firepower is nothing to sneeze at either. And it's also, as he gets closer, he's going to give his ships less time to react to these incoming artillery shots. It's actually quite fast. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really seen this ship move at its full speed, so I can't really gauge it. Most of the time it just kind of sits there and just takes shots with its artillery cannon. Does look very pretty though. I like the look of those artillery salvos. Meanwhile, Mug is attempting to, in vain, attempt to chip away at his distractor ships over here. Unfortunately, does not seem to be making much progress. By the way, Al, nice look on your aesthetics here. I really like it. Despite how structurally weak it might look, it's a very nice feel to it. Good job. I definitely like the look of your Dreadnought better than your distractor ships. I think your distractor ships are a little too fat, but you know, whatever you need to take hits is whatever you need to take hits. His mothership also, his point defense, has a lot of these close range lasers as well as some sights, these chain laser point defense as well. So it's pretty well protected in terms of point defenses. Although these lasers here tend to die pretty quickly to area of effect damage. They're usually the first ones to go. Yeah, I've never seen Alfeather's ship move faster than this. It just kind of sits there the entire fight. And that's what happens if you get hit by artillery. Let's see if we can catch it happening again. Come on, shoot something. Nope, dodged. Okay. Oh, he took a grazing hit from an artillery salvo there. The thing is, I don't think Mug's ships will attempt to dodge shots from another ship. They will only attempt to dodge it from the ship that they're currently focused on. I can't confirm that because I'm not pro with the AI in this game, but at least it's what it seems like it's happening. And now we have Mug's laser fleet versus, oh dear, Yenyu's for the Lol's red fleet. It's a very pretty red fleet. Unfortunately, in combat, tends to not fare so well versus, well, pretty much anything, to be honest, because red durability. Red, quote-unquote, durability, that is. Yeah, even Mug's point defense lasers make short work of whatever ships to get too close, much less his beam cannons. Yeah, I definitely think that, Al, because your main gun has so much range, it's just that the AI would prefer to sit back and act as artillery support. But hey, it works. It works. Yeah. All these explosions we're seeing are from the from Yenyu's rocket batteries. They make very pretty explosions, by the way. It's a very pretty fleet. Unfortunately, it does not fare well in combat. Because even these tiny stacked laser kiters are enough to defeat him. Alright, now we have Poetry with Lemons by Infamous Yenyu versus Mug's Penultimate Envoy by Mark Akos. Two fleets we've already been over. We're just gonna let them fight. Now, in theory, Mug should have the upper hand here because his lasers are also pretty good at taking down drones. Unfortunately, I think he just kind of loses by default due to the sheer numbers advantage that Yenyu has. Though they are pretty much even on points. I have plans to make them better for the next tour. Oh, yeah. Do keep working on that. Next time, you should probably... Yenyu, next time. Consider using the Super Chain Cannon. Trust me, it's a good weapon. It has pretty much the same range, if not... I think it actually has slightly better range than Heavy Assault Gauss. So, if you want to go up against Heavy Assault Gauss fleets, use the Super Chain Cannon. It might be expensive, but it's also pretty lethal. The only bad thing about it is it's slow turret traverse and somewhat low damage per shot. Also consider using the Red's heavy missiles. They're also pretty decent. Heck, even the light missiles can pull their own weight. And Mug actually won that one. Wow. It is 1:44 a.m. for me. Yeah, Mug's ships tend to fare better against faster, lighter targets because just because they have beam cannons as their main weapon. And they tend to just instant kill pretty much anything that gets too close to them. Every like 3 seconds or so, however long the charge time is on the light beam cannon. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, they are quite good. They're very decent, especially for their size. They're not that different from, actually pretty damn similar to the vanilla Terran burst laser. Just, you know, bigger, more powerful. Better perp even... Oh, I'll have to take a look at that, actually. Better perp even the heavier variant. Yeah. I'll have to take a look at that. I might either buff the heavy variant or nerf the light beam cannons. I'll take a look at it, yeah. By the way, if we have time at the end of the tournament, I might show you guys some new upcoming stuff in the in-dev version of ZDE. Along with the currently in place nerf for the Heavy Assault Gauss. Alright, so now, new fleet. Two new fleets actually. It's Mug versus Mug. Mug is fighting himself in this matchup, and on the left we have Mug's Purified Fleet of Stormbringers, which is the other heavy torpedo spam fleet in the lineup, and he has 6 heavy homing torpedo launchers, and appears to be 2 fighter missile launchers. That's actually a questionable choice, but alright. I don't know why he used fighter missiles over their standard Terran missiles, but hey, it's his fleet. He can choose what he wants. Yeah, and pretty much no other weapons other than like some armor, some super cap thrusters. And then we have Mug's disease-ridden strike fleet now with more cancer. Instead of having that Titan-sized point defense gun, he has 4 heavy assault Gauss cannons. So basically, he took the same hull and made it more meta. So yeah, in my opinion, it's more boring than the Hyperflak fleet, but oh well. What can you do about it? The only reason I added the Hyperflak fleet in there was because, well, it was entertaining, so yeah. Otherwise, this would have been his only fleet with this hull. This fight's kind of spread out. Those homing torpedoes are doing some work. Doing a lot of work, holy crap. His other fleet, disease-ridden, is ahead on points, however. So I don't think that'll last for very long. Or maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe I was just looking at a place where the Stormbringers had most of their ships. Occasionally checking Twitch chat here. By the way, to anyone watching the YouTube video, I apologize. for some reason I couldn't just get the Twitch chat thing to work, which is what looks like the gray box in this corner here. I'll probably just have to uninstall, reinstall OBS to get a newer version with what's called like the browser widget broadcast thing. I'm not sure, it's a feature that's in newer versions of OBS. It basically allows Twitch chat to work. I'm running a pretty old version as of now. And disease-ridden strike fleet wins. Round 1, that is. Round 2, but we'll probably go the same way, if I had to guess. Wasn't very close. Oh, wow, it's 2 o'clock. This video file is going to be so damn big. Gonna be in the gigabytes. Oh, Yunyu's got to go for now. Might be back later though. Oh yeah, see ya, Yunyu. Yeah, well, you know what, yeah, just enter. Caesar and Strike Fleet was gonna win anyway. Alright, so now we have the Hyperflak Fleet versus the Mailmen and the Longpoles. Ooh, this fight should actually be pretty interesting, because even though Imperiox's fleet is really stacked and super meta with the Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon, these Hyperflak Gatling guns have a sizable AoE. So essentially what that means is multiple of these armor block stacks are getting hit once. So Imperiox could be in a bit of trouble here if he doesn't take out enough of these ships quickly enough. So let's watch. Yeah, look, I think there was already one of Imperiox's ships is already down. I learned that in testing. Although I thought the Hyperflak would be a weak point defense, I've learned not to underestimate it once I've tested it. It's quite a potent, harassment weapon, at the very least. Yeah, look, they're hitting the core through the blocks. Imperiox didn't make his ships big enough. So these the Hyperflak shots have enough splash to hit through the blocks and hit the core directly. So Imperiox is definitely in a bit of trouble here. Just find this hilarious because I never intended these guns to be used as main weapons, but they're actually working pretty damn well as main weapons. God. Alright, well, commence Godmug spam in chat. Oh right, bullet phasing. There's that too. I don't know. I'm trying to look at this closely here. It doesn't look like the bullets are phasing through. At least to me. Let's see if I can try and catch this again. Yeah, it could be phasing. You only really get that kind of velocity on Anti-Trollships. Yeah. Bullet phasing, huh? Honestly, I've never really... I always thought it was the splash that was doing them, and these have 20 splash radius. So, it could be big enough. Yeah, these are proximity explosives, though, so... I mean, I guess. It's moving too fast for me to see. But yeah, I guess obliterator magic is convenient when it needs to be. Oh well. What is going on with this ship over here? Well, yeah, I guess it is what I'm saying. One is with beams and the other is with high velocity cannons. For some reason, heavy assault Gausses do not clip, but the hyperflak does. Ooh, yeah, I see what you mean now. I just saw that really clipped hard, so... yeah, now it's like clipped as well. Jeez. And here I thought 120 physics updates per second would negate this somehow. Oh well. Too little too late. Yeah, I'm starting to see what you mean here. That's definitely doesn't look very natural. Imperiex should stand a better chance, however, this time, though. Actually, more than stand a better chance, he should straight up crush Mark this time. Simply because, well... Heavy Assault Gauss versus Light Beam Cannon was never really going to go well. Because Heavy Assault Gauss actually outranges the Light Beam Cannon by a fair amount. And just a few more ships left, so enter. Imperiex ships are interesting because they basically have thrusters in every possible direction, so his ship's movements are actually pretty fluid compared to other designs. And the last ship, I'll watch him die. There we go. Okay, next we have Mug's Deceased Strike Mug's Gauss Cannon fleet versus Owl's Ships of Death. Okay. This time the Dreadnought started in front, so this time the Dreadnought should get more opportunity to exercise its high damage per second Gauss cannons instead of its artillery. And it needs to, kind of, because these ships are... Marg's ships are heavily enough armored this time that they can take a hit from an artillery cannon and survive. Unfortunately, these Gauss cannons are stacked enough to melt anything that gets close to them. Now what is this? It can't make up its mind what to shoot at. Okay. Marg is slowly whittling away at this distractor ship. Oh, it's almost got it, actually. Ooh, that was a nasty artillery hit. Yeah. There's enough to survive an artillery hit, but that doesn't mean they come out unscathed. Oh, that was a bit of a weird barrage there. Shooting at the tiny drone. Oh, yeah, Mug does have some tiny missile ships in his fleet, so maybe it was trying to shoot that with the big artillery gun. This thing turns surprisingly quickly for its size. Not gonna lie. Marg's ship seems abnormally resistant to these artillery barrages, probably because they use more wedge shapes. This one ship should try to whittle its way through his armor. Not going to happen. And now the chain laser point defenses are joining the party. Even the short range lasers. Wow. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That's a nice artillery hit. That blew off his entire front. Oh yeah, by the way, the inner part of Al's ship has a tower shield. Thanks for letting me know. I actually wasn't able to tell what kind of shield that was because whenever I went into the constructor mode, the artillery cannon would get in the way. So thanks for letting us know, Al. It's a tower shield. Yeah, it's right on the middle of... It's basically right in the middle of the artillery battery. It's right there. It's attempting to do... Yeah, even if Marg's ships don't fully die, Al was pretty much guaranteed to win on points anyway. Yep, he got splashed. Right. It's a very pretty ship. I can't help but admire it. Oh my god, it actually killed the drone with its artillery cannon. That was hilarious. Yep. Argus trying to dig through to no avail. Mostly because the ship keeps rotating. Yeah, I might actually consider banning the super capital thrusters and the asteroid thrusters next time around. Basically using a modified version of an MSS rule set next time around. Because, as I learned the hard way, especially in the first day or so of making this tournament, it's quite more difficult than it looks to make custom rules. Or maybe the media is more forgiving. Ouch. I might consider unbanning the Leviathan main battery, because it's basically just a bigger, beefier version of what Al has on the ship. Slow spinners and overlapping. Yeah, unfortunately, with Al in the competition, wait a second. Yeah, NMSS rules exist for good reasons, aka Splinter broke something. Yeah, I mean, looking at the description of the Discord tournament chat, it's easy to guess why the NMSS rule set was created. Cue Splinter meme. Oh no. Poor Splinter. Poor Splinter. Splinter boss fight. Oh wow. Yeah, I can't imagine what Splinter would try to come up with for this tournament. We've seen this match before. Times 208. Yeah, when the video goes up to YouTube, I might just cut out the first quote-unquote attempt at running the tournament, just to make the video shorter and less painful to upload. am thankful to Mark's Black Fleet for getting rid of the missile fleets for me. Oh no. Oh no. Unfortunately, I don't think ZDE's preview image will be God mode at this rate. Oh, hey. This torpedo fleet's actually ahead this time. Oh, no, wait, never mind. I just looked at the points. No. Yep, I think I'm just gonna... We've seen this fight before, so not really any point in continuing any further. Alright, so Disease-Ridden Strike Fleet, Gauss version versus Mailman and Lungpoles. And now we're gonna see whether that void clipping really made a difference. My answer is probably going to be yes, but never hurts to see for myself. Yeah, Heavy Assault Gauss doesn't bullet clip nearly as much. Unfortunately, that may cost Marg the match. Oh yeah, projectile size could also be a contributing factor to bullet clipping. Yeah, Marg's fleet is doing way worse than did previously. Just too many ships to fire at. Wow. I mean, I could try singing like Laps does, but I doubt you'd want to hear that, especially from the sleepy version of myself. It's like 2:14 in the morning. You know, I really should have put on music for this. Whatever, you can listen to your own music if you want. I don't care. These spacers are really just not good in combat. What the? Okay. Sometimes, I swear, what blocks the AI chooses to tractor from is just the weirdest shit ever. Sometimes I'll attempt to tractor something like halfway across the arena. Yep, they're just getting melted at this point. I was gonna press enter, but then I realized there's only 5 seconds left. X wins this matchup. Advancing to the quarterfinals, or semifinals actually. Alright, so now we have the Hyperflak fleet versus Owl's fleet. I think Marg is going to get completely stomped here because, well, Hyperflak tends to not fare well against heavy armor. Just sort of just eroding this very slowly. Well, as we've seen with Exterp, we know these have enough DPS when they focus fire, but the thing is, there's so many ships now out and about that have heavy armor that they can't really focus fire on a particular target. The best focus fire we're getting right now is with this guy. Yeah, its armor's just being slowly tickled to death. The spread on these is not helping either. One of the things that Starfix doesn't take really into account for in his chart that he made earlier is the spread of the weapon. The more spread out it is, the harder time it's gonna have utilizing all of its DPS. Though it is somewhat negated by the explosives of the projectiles. And yeah, I can kind of see the bullet clipping. It's just a bit. It's going in through like one layer. Meanwhile, Owl's battleship's just taking pot shots. Whatever. You know, a wave motion gun would be really useful in this situation for at least, if not taking out, then just crippling these ships by just slicing them in half. But then again, with the abundance of swarms in the tournament, using that Spinal wave motion gun is going to be tricky, to say the least. Really want, yeah, fire EMP and such would be actually a pretty cool idea. Well, you can sort of create an EMP by making a block that has like, or you know, a projectile that has like 1 explosion radius but does like 4 billion damage. So that way, if it contacts the shield is instantly downed. You can sort of make, you know, anti-shield weapons by doing that. I wouldn't really call it an actual EMP, but it works. Ah yes, finally we get all the ships firing at the same target here. taking some screenshots, hoping to get a good thumbnail for a YouTube video. Really just admire the detail on the Owl's Dreadnought here. It has all these internals, spikes. Meanwhile, Mug's ship is basically just a bunch of hyperstack thrusters and a large generator, a gun. Some point defense out here as well. What is this? He has like one flat cannon at the very, very back for like no reason whatsoever, except to just exist there. And yep, as expected, Hal wins. Alright, so now it's gonna be the Hyperflak fleet again versus the Mailman and the Longpoles. Yeah, I think Mailman and Longpoles is also pretty toasted here, the sheer amount of bullet clipping going on. Yeah, it didn't even like, they only took out like 3 blocks. Got to the core. The question is, should I ban this next time? Should I ban the Hyperflak next time? Yeah, you get to fight the same guy twice. Woohoo. I think we already know at this point that Owl is pretty much going to win, but we'll let the last fight play out. Yeah, the range on these things is actually pretty damn good. I think it's like 10,000 range for these. Problem is, Mug's AI does not seem intent on using the full range of these weapons, so they somehow just insist on getting close. It's all Mug's fault. Oh no. On the bright side, however, at least I won't have to change ZDE's workshop preview image into Godmug. However, knowing Mug, he's probably just gonna tell me anyway to change it to Godmug. Yeah, look at that. He has thrusters in pretty much every single direction possible, so his ship's movements are actually quite fluid. He can move in pretty much, like, what? It's more than 8 directions. I know that. Oh, Extrep arrives. Oh, sorry, Extrep. You missed, all your fleets getting annihilated. I'm sorry. Yeah, Imperiex always makes the evil designs that are always... For some reason, he has an obsession with spheres, and I don't know why, but... Oh well. Yeah, Extra, sorry man, you, I'll post this to YouTube, but don't expect, like, the best quality. Also, don't expect you to see Twitch chat. unfortunately. But I think I did enable the broadcast saving on Twitch, so this should be saved to a video, hopefully, on Twitch. So, why did nobody everyone? Because I don't want to get banned, Exterp, that's why. Those little spheres might be able to dodge everything. No, they're actually not able to dodge everything. I've seen them get hit a couple times by Owl's artillery, and as you can see now, they're getting hit by, Hyperflak. It is an announcements, though. I know I didn't post the Twitch link to announcements. Or at least I know I can't post stuff to announcements. Hey, not my fault, okay? I don't want to do everyone and get myself banned, and I can't post to announcements. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Al. Thanks, Al. Alright, and we have rematch. Again. Wish these contestants were placed just a bit better. But we should almost be done here, so last matchup here. Since I still have a bit of time, I can probably switch over to the in-dev version of ZDE and show you why exactly Leviathan Parts were banned. Oh yeah, main reason Tusk came on, it's Owl's fault. Poor Owl. Best take the blame this time around. These guns are pretty when they spread fire. Don't get me wrong. When they decide to, spread fire, and they basically fire tiny little waves, bullets. Yeah, Mug's ships are surprisingly resilient to this artillery cannon here. Probably because they are using high skill blocks. This was, by the way, this Hyperflak fleet was, if you didn't know already, exceptions into the rules despite them using greater than scale 5 armor blocks. Mostly because, as you can see, they're fully killable. You didn't even know how your fleets are... Don't worry, Exterp. If I remembered to hit the record button, that is, I will definitely post a YouTube video of this. So, yeah. Sorry, Exterp, man. I also enabled broadcast saving on stream, or on Twitch. So hopefully Twitch will make a video out of this. Hopefully. So yeah, Exterp, you can always go ahead and rewatch it if you need to. But Exterp, you are knocked out fairly early. I apologize. You did get a few good fights, however. I think you did win a couple rounds, so... yeah. I'm just waiting for Owl to take the victory here in 15 seconds. Yeah, poor Mug. Almost, but not quite. Sorry, Mug, I won't be able to, if Mug is watching the YouTube video of this. Sorry, Mug. No God Mug ZDE preview image for you, unfortunately. Yeah, only really Excerpt and Owl brought the heavy guns, or, the actual big ships, and should really do something about that next time. Maybe limit it to 100 ships. I don't know, swarms are pretty fun to watch fight bigger ships though, so... who knows? I might just limit it to 100 ships next time. It's... man, that's a lot of bullets. Trying to get a good thumbnail for the YouTube video here. Exterp, your missile fleet ran into this hyperflat Gatling fleet and got absolutely shredded one time. So, swarms are good, but they aren't invincible. Yep, this ship is... Al, your capital ship is so lazy. It just sits back and just takes pot shots at whatever it can with its big artillery gun. But that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing whatsoever. I mean, most of your firepower is on this ship, so... you're letting the distractor ships run ahead and take the damage for you is quite a valid strategy. Yeah, Titan foot. Yeah, this point defense gun was meant for Titans. And that's it. Al Feathers, congratulations. You have officially won the ZDE tournament. Marg got 2nd place, and Imperiex was 3rd. So, since we still have some time, I might just switch over to the in-dev version of ZDE and show you some new stuff. If you want to stick around, that is. Of course, good game to Al, well done. Took home the victory. I'll grab the screenshots later. Yeah. Now, if you want to stick around, I might show you some new stuff. And I also... first, let's give you a demonstration of why Leviathan parts were banned. Or Reassembly could just freeze up on me. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Yep, this is why I don't use the in-dev version, because it corrupts everything. Yeah. Alright. Where is... here we are. Yes, here we are. And I'm sure you all know Marg's Titan, the Anzu. So let's give you some giant capital ship fights. Shit. There we go. This fight will cause my game to lag. Oh, it's still on bracket. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a one-on-one anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's that sweet frame rate lag and max time dilation. Oh, no. Yeah, this is why Leviathan parts were banned. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. It's just a 1v1. Just a quick 31v1. God. This is why Leviathan parts were banned. 1 second is a month. Yes, unfortunately so. You know what, this fight's gonna take too long. I'm just gonna drop it down to 1 Anzu so you can watch it get slaughtered rather than just a fair fight. There we go. Yeah, rather large guns. Yeah, that's the Leviathan main battery, and this is what these guns are what Owl has on his ship in the center of his dreadnought, and this is the main guns of this ship. As you can see, it's quite the difference. You're a black hole. Oh god, I'm the only one who gets that science reference. Wow. Yeah. The game is mostly time dilating because of the sheer amount of projectiles these throw out. These are heavily bullet stacked, after all. Oh dear, it's still gonna take forever, isn't it? Yeah, just this ship existing, pretty much, and firing its main guns is enough to send this into maximum time dilation, so... Yeah. This here is why Leviathan Parts were banned. Because I did not want this tournament to take a month. We're not even gonna see what it looks like to get, when they hit, so... Yeah. What else? Ah, yes, I can show you the new stuff. Let's 8. So I have some new stuff. Basically, this is the light beam cannon. This was the latest weapon that was added last patch. Everything beyond this is new. So, well, so far, I've only just begun working on adding the new stuff for this patch. So, we have a few more size 4 octagons. And you have basically it's a miniaturized version of, where is this? This, thermobaric railgun. We have the mini version of that, and we have Wowie's version of this. I've made specifically for Wowie, because he requested it. Was basically a size 20 point defense cannon. Yeah, you can blame Wowie for that one. And we also have a size 4 version of the Terran rocket battery with somewhat improved velocity over the other one. And we have a cute miniature size 4 version of the Heavy Annihilator bat cannon. Whatever. Yeah. So now you can... By the way, this is the spread fire version of the Annihilator cannon. I haven't gotten the focused version miniaturized yet, but for when you need to have an explosive death shotgun on something that isn't a Titan. You almost went for a high... Oh, you almost went for having Stonehenges as your main weapon? Wow. Yeah, these are pretty effective. Simply just because their blast radius is huge. Yeah. By the way, this will always be banned. I don't care what. Even if I were to unban the Leviathan Parts, this would still be banned. Because this is a one-hit kill. Pretty much 99% of the time. And, yeah. There's also this. If you've never seen... This is a joke weapon, if you couldn't tell already. Obvious joke weapon is obvious. Yeah, as well as this one. This one was really a predecessor more to test out the size 20 octagon. I might actually consider unbanning this because this isn't too powerful. Has moderate range. I should just show you guys what these look like when they're fired. Where's my quantum infinity generator? There it is. I need this, and where's my station anchor? Station anchor. There we are. I need some more of those to mount these big guns. Yeah. I wouldn't call it super overpowered, but hey, giant death shotgun if you want. Yeah, quite the gun. This is basically the initial, my first scale 20 octagon weapon. Basically just a really big Annihilator cannon. And, well, let's crash the game by giving the joke weapon to fire. Yep. All it takes is one click that instantly turn the game to max time dilation. When you use this gun. This gun has been in here forever, but oh well. And I can't believe the bullets are still going. Well, alright. Time is back to normal. Let's show you... Next, we shall show you the heavy rocket battery. Let's do something more normal. Yeah. It's basically just like your standard Terran rocket battery, but supersized. It's 4,000 range. Decent damage. Though it does spread out quite a bit, so... It's more of a crowd control weapon than it is for focusing down a single ship. Anti-swarm. And lastly, we have, excuse me, we have the miniature annihilator cannon. Why aren't these on final? I might change that. Yeah. Oh, wait. One last thing. I did push through and nerf the Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon. These are its new stats. Well, not final new stats, but more like, you know, the direction I want to take this in, basically. It's just increased points and increased power cost. Because people had enough power on a, you know, how can I explain this? This weapon used to be able to be powered just by a ship core. Yeah, watch out, Guns of Icarus trigger. Oh no, somebody still plays Guns of Icarus? Oh, I haven't played that game in like forever. Yeah. This is the new Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon, or the direction of the new Heavy Assault Gauss Cannon. I'm still considering raising the points value even more to something closer to like 900 or 1,000. But yeah, hopefully should make the Heavy Assault Gauss a bit more costly and a bit more power hungry as well. Other than that, I might also in turn as well nerf the medium-sized one here. Cause yeah, 15 power, no. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna nerf this one as well. Probably increase that to like 500. Higher points cost. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Ultimately, I think what would be best if I just knocked this up to like closer to 900 points and 100 power a shot. But yeah. By the way, the person who gave me the idea to miniaturize the Stonehenge cannon was Soul. It was Lost Soul, because he probably wanted something for his Neptunia class carrier. Wanted one of these. And Wowie took it in the other direction, said I should supersize this. And by the way, I could show you. Crap. Apply this. Change binding. Left mouse. And then zoom out. Yep. That shot is longer than most Titans. Wowie requested for this weapon, and I'm starting to think of just being a joke weapon at this point. Those 5 blocks are like 20,000 points. Which 5 blocks? Oh, the new ones? Yeah, probably. By the way, while you're still here, if you have any questions about ZDE, just feel free to ask now while I'm still here and awake. Let's blow up some targets. I'm definitely going to cut this out of the YouTube video, of course. Keep in mind the target blocks are quite weak. Boom. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's finish it off all with a bang. Let's put a target like reasonably close here. So yeah. Alright, so I guess I'll have to cut the stream off here. Let's finish it off with a bang, why not? So that was the end of the first official ZDE tournament. I'm ZFall99, the creator of ZFall99's Defense Emporium, the mod used in this tournament. And I bid you all right click below. And I bid you all adieu.